Hello everyone, this is Suresh from Azure ADB. Today our topic is how to use magic command skip. So this %skip magic command, it is recently launched in Databricks. So I already made one video on how to use %skip in Databricks notebook cells. So this is the sequence of that video. First, we'll see when to use %skip magic command. So suppose if you wanted to run your entire notebook, but you wanted to skip a few heavy or optional experimental cells. So these cells you want to eliminate, manually comment out or delete or modify the code. So that means if you have heavy code, like maybe aggregations. So then if you run this cell, what will happen? It will take much time to run the cell. So this is which scenario? Suppose if you're running, run all. Suppose if you're running, run all option in Databricks. So when you do run all, what will happen? Each and every cell will run. So suppose in middle of your notebook, if you have heavy code with aggregations, and if it is taking so much time, then if it is not really required to every time to run that particular cell, then you can use this %skip. So similar way, you can use options like manually comment it out or delete or modify. So by using, instead of doing all these things, what you can do is simply you can use %skip magic command. So this when we'll use is, so whenever you want to make debugging faster, and it keeps experiments in place without running them. So it prevents accidental rerun of costly cells. So what we need to do is just add it. Just add this %skip at the top of any cell, and it will be ignored when you run multiple cells together. So you can skip individual cells when running multiple cells in a notebook using %skip magic command. To skip a cell during run all execution, this %skip magic command at the beginning of this cell. So the code within that cell will not be executed. So that means if you mention %skip in any of the cell, that cell will not be executed. And this is the link of Databricks. If you try to click on this, so it will open you the page. So Databricks page. So here they mentioned how to skip cells when running notebooks. So it is implemented from October 31st, 2025 onwards. So now we'll see our real example how to use %skip. So if you see here, I have multiple cells here. So my first cell is import required functions, and second is creating sample data frame, and third cell is I'm doing some transformations by using element underscore add. And next cell is I'm doing some aggregations here. And what is the next cell is, yeah. So I have total 6 cells here. See, I already ran this notebook. Now what I will do is I'll clear all this output and I'll try to run from scratch. So I will do clear all cell outputs. So now I will be having only code here. If you see here, now I don't have any output here. I have only code here. So what I did here in this, in one of the cell, that is fifth cell, That is, here I'm doing aggregation. So here I used percent skip. So as soon as you enter percent skip, suppose I will do uncomment of this one. If I do uncomment, see this all code will get enabled. See here, it got enabled, and this is skipped also gone. Now, if I try to disable this, enable this, see as soon as I enable percent skip, this whole thing got disabled, this whole code got disabled, and skip got active. So now what I'll do is I'll start my cluster, serverless cluster, and we'll see one by one how to use this skip command. So now what I'll do is I will use this run all option here. So if I try to do run all option, what will happen? One by one cell, it will run, and we will see what will happen at this percent skip. So if I try to run this one, run all, if you see here, one by one, it will run. It will run up to here. Okay, so now it is running this cell. Cell 3, it is running. Okay, so now cell 4 also ran. So up to here. Next, it will come to skip. So since I mentioned skip, percent skip, it got skip, and it come to cell 6. But here it thrown error. So what is this? Name error. Name df underscore designation is not defined. So if you see this one, this df underscore designation, it is defined here. So since this cell got skipped, and this parameter, this sort of code is not ran, and when it comes to this particular cell, first it will run this line of code, and since we don't have any input here, so it throwing error like df underscore designation is not defined. So at the same time, if you see here in variables, if you just click on variables, so here it will show some variables. So we'll see one by one variables here. See here, total variables are 4. So what is first variable? Columns. And if you go to your first cell, see here, this is the columns. Okay, so this is one variable. Next, what is the second variable? Data. So what is that? This one. Data I defined now for creating data frame. So this is second variable. And the third one, what is there? df underscore array. So this one, df underscore array. So from this first cell, it is generating 3 variables here. Next, we'll go for other cell. So here we have one more variable, that is df underscore trans. See here trans is there. So next, so wherever I define percent skip, so here I have one variable df underscore designation. So that is not considered here because it got skipped by because of percent skip. So since this variable is not executed here and it is not stored here, so when it comes to here, it telling that name df underscore designation is not defined. Okay, so same thing I mentioned here to make cell filter run correctly. So filter means this one, cell 6. So that is filter. So what we can do is in method 1, remove the percent skip command from aggregation. So first method is if you want to make execute, so you just uncomment it. If you do uncomment or delete that, then it will get activate. So if I try to run this variable get add here, df underscore designation. See here, df underscore designation got added here. So now if you try to run this one, it will get executed. So this is method one. So next we'll go for other method. So here what is method two is run all before apply %skip. So click run all before applying the %skip. After it completes successfully, then apply %skip. So later you run all again, it runs without error because Databricks notebook maintains its execution state and variable definitions within the active cluster session. So that means now my cluster is running. So whatever it telling, no, variable definition within active cluster session. So that is this one. So here, uh, since cluster is active, so all the variables are stored here. So now we'll follow this method two. So in method two, what they're telling is, so very first, remove the %skip. So that means here, what I will do, I will uncomment this %skip. Yeah. So now it is uncommented, no? This is commented out %skip, or you can remove that. So now what I will do, I will do run all. If I do run all, what will happen? This whole thing will get run. So since %skip is not there, so all the cells will run and you will get output and your variables will get stored here. See here, total variables, 6 variables got saved here. So once it got ran successfully, then activate this skip. So now I will activate this skip and see this whole code got disabled and skip added here. Now, if I try to run this one, run all cells, so now it will give you without error. See here, this output will go off. This output go off because we define %skip, but still it is running. But still it is running. How it is running? See here, we already ran once the whole code without mentioning %skip. So that time all the variables got stored here. So until your cluster is active, this all variables will be here. So since already all variables are stored here, so later, even though if you give %skip, it will run this particular cell. So next one is method is what we can do is I'll keep this one. So you can go here run. Yeah. So here go to run and clear. Next go to clear state and run all. So if I do this one, what will happen? So first it will clear the all cell status. So I'm confirming that. See here, this will clear the state of all variables. So here I'm confirming clear state and run all. So it will run one more time. All the cells, it will run one more time. See here, it will clear the state and all the cells, it is running one more time. See here, if you do this one, see again it throwing error. Why? Because this all parameters got cleared. Okay, all the parameters got cleared. Since we mentioned first clear the state, then run all. So clear the state means what will happen? It will erase all the variables here And while running second time now, while running run null, while running these cells, it generating only these variables, only these four variables. So that means currently we don't have this variable here. I will show you one more difference. So suppose I will do state. So in button, if you go run, if you come to clear, so here we have options. So first option is clear state. So next one is clear state and run null. So first what I will do, I will do clear state. I will do clear state and we'll check here variables. Now if you check here variables, see here, since I used clear state, so there is no variables here. Variables got erased. And if I do now run the cell, so here what is the option? There are two options. One is a clear state and one more option is clear state and run null. So this what will happen? First clear the state. So that means it will remove the variables. Then automatically it will run all the cells. Second option what I did, first I did clear state. Clear state means it will remove the variables. Now clear state is over. So here this run null, now I am doing separately. If I try to run now, run all, again you will get same error here. Because parameters got removed, that means this parameter variable got removed. So that's why it's throwing error. So there is one more option. Either you can do this by using run, clear state and run null, or if you see here, now you have all variables here, no? So now we have all these four variables. So here one more condition is now our cluster is running here. Suppose I'll do terminate this cluster. I'll terminate this cluster. And if you see all the variables automatically will get clear. See here, this action will affect all users of the compute resource. So as soon as I do terminate, and if you go and check your variables, it will get errors. See here, your variables got erased. So next what we can do is, again you can start the cluster and you can follow the same process. You can run the cluster and you can run the cells again. So there are total 3 methods here. So I covered, I think, almost all the options. Reset all variables and function. Okay, so this we discussed. Okay, so we covered almost all the options available in this percent skip. Okay, so that's all about this video. If you really like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.